Good afternoon. It's me, Brian. And now, usually you guys have seen me rant about some other things in the past. In fact, on a video you're going to see before this, I rant about a certain new boss character in Street Fighter 4. But what I want to rant about right now is not about any games. It's more of the fact I want to rant about poor manufacturing, or poor packaging, or something, whatever you call it, of DVD+Rs. Now, if you don't know what DVD+Rs are, DVD+Rs are basically DVDs that are recordable that you can use in your DVD recorders. They also have other DVD+Rs called DVD+RWs, which are rewritable. In other words, you could use that same disc to put anything else. As a matter of fact, if you wanted to erase the entire disc on a +RW, you can. And you can put an entirely new option, new stuff on there. But you got to be careful on how the disc works sometimes, because sometimes you might get some real winners, if you know what I mean. And what I'm talking about that is, sometimes you might get a whole package worth of DVD+Rs or RWs that don't work worth shit. I ain't lying. And that brings me to this one. It's a Maxwell DVD+R. Now, you think to yourself, well, these look like and are described just like any other DVD+R you might buy. However, I'm not sure if I got a bad package, a package full of duds or something, but it's no fucking wonder that these, even as a 5-pack, get sold for $6.99. I'm not saying some of these are bad. In fact, some of them do work. But there's a catch. There is a catch. You see, according to the packaging right here, according to this packaging, it goes up to a maximum of 16 times IMS, right? Just like, say, a Sony, or just like, say, a Memorex. You'd think they would do the same thing. Well, they don't. Now, I don't know if it's because I tried to record something that was not recordable or what. I don't really know. Because last night, I tried to put this thing into my DVD recorder and record Monday Night Raw. And you know what the fuck happened? It said invalid disc. And I'm thinking, what the shit? I've never used this. But you know what's ironic about that? You know what's ironic? I had a disc in my spindle case, if you will, of Sony discs. In my spindle case. And you know what the hell happened? It was the last one, and it worked. It worked. It didn't even have, it had been popped into my DVD recorder before and then taken out. And it worked. It actually worked. I was able to record stuff on there. But this? No way. Couldn't do it. It didn't let me. But don't get me wrong. Maxwell actually came up with some good ones in the past. You see, 4 years ago, when I bought my first DVD recorder, which was an Apex, which only lasted me about a week, I ended up getting a Maxwell DVD. And this was the very first one I used. And it recorded. It worked. And it's the same design. It works the same way as the other one. Oh, I'm sorry, but there's a difference. There's a difference. Instead of making this the same way as this one, they make this 16 speed. You know what this goes up to? 24 speed. Jeez, if they would have sold this at 24 speed at $6.99, that would have been better. But it doesn't make sense, does it? A DVD recordable disc should work not just in a recorder, but in a DVD drive. See, I even use these things to put data on them sometimes. If I'm, downloading something big, and I want to save them onto a data, and I can't use my CD-Rs, I use these. But I couldn't use these, because they didn't work. And you know why? Because usually, when I burn something onto my disc for data, it says writing at 16 speed, right? Instead of saying 16 speed on there, it says 16 speed, it says 8 speed. And it fucks it up. It fucks the damn disc up. But you know what was more reliable for me? and not just in data, not just in saving data, but in recording. This. That's right, this was more reliable. This has been more reliable than that disc ever has been, along with the Memorex. As a matter of fact, here's one of my Memorex, my RWs. These have been more reliable, these two, more reliable than this piece of shit. So if I was Maxwell, I would go out and I would basically I would recall all my DVD+Rs. I'd check each and every one of them and make sure none of them were fucking duds. You know why? Because if you keep this up, people ain't going to want to buy your product no more. I mean, the only fucking thing that they're good at so far is making earphones. Like this. That's the only thing they're fucking good at, making good earphones. But when it comes to the RWs, especially that, they need to do a better job and check their damn products. Because that's supposed to work in a DVD recorder. I mean, this recorder here, that you could see, right there, has lasted me for over almost 5 years now. 5 years! And the only 5 years, and the only time it ever tells me it's not going to record something, if it tells me that one of the discs is either invalid, or, surprisingly, one of the discs, either it's a Sony or Memorex, which have never really had many duds, and probably one or two, unlike this Maxwell, shit, they either tell me it's invalid, or, surprisingly, they say it's a data disc. What the shit is that? Huh? Anyway, what I'm saying in this rant is if I was you, I'd buy these kind of discs over these. Why? Because if you see these at $6.99, 5-pack, that's all basically you're just getting what you paid for. You're paying for a piece of shit. I'm not saying they're all bad, I'm just saying some batches are, like this. Like this batch right here. It is fucking bad. But that's all I could say about my rant on the DVD+R and RWs of Maxwell. I just pray and hope that Maxwell can make better products, make better DVD+Rs and RWs, and minus Rs and RWs, because if they keep up this shit, no one's going to buy that kind of product. But if I was you, again, I'd go with a Sony and a Memorex, because they're the better brand, and they last longer. So, till next time, I'm Brian saying peace out, take care, and I'll talk to you all later. And if you got any comments, and if you've experienced the same things like I have, put them down on my page.